As promised in my last video, this is a follow-up a month later using the Apple Watch Ultra as my main watch, as an average dad. I'm sorry, no scuba diving here today. I've got to say I am satisfied with my purchase, but it hasn't been a perfect ride. In that first video that I did, which now got almost 100,000 views, thanks YouTube, I've received so many questions. So I'll try to answer some of those questions in this video and also be sharing with you some of the issues that I've had with it so far. I got quite a few questions about sleep tracking. Has it helped track my sleep better? How well does it work for tracking standard exercise? And how useful really is the GPS and cellular data? And is the call quality any good? I'm Alex and I do down-to-earth tech videos. And talking about down to earth, this thing has been with me since I got it on launch day. So this Alpine loop has seen some action and it's got quite dirty fairly quickly. But here's the surprising thing. As a football coach, or soccer if you're in America, I sometimes need to get involved and it can get quite muddy. Whilst cleaning my boots the other day after a training session, I got splattered with mud all over my forearm and therefore all over the watch. But what I noticed with this Alpine loop is that despite it being fabric, it's surprisingly easy to clean. The easiest way is just to run it down the shower or just down the tap. But if you get stained with grease or something like that, you can use some mild soap and warm water and it'll be fine. After all, this is meant to be taken through some extreme weather conditions, so I'm quite relaxed about that, right? Now I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite apps to use with this watch, but one of my absolute favorite things without a doubt is how comfortable this watch is, especially in bed. A lot of people seem to be focusing on the size and how big it looks, but honestly, I don't have large wrists. The exact size is 19 centimeters, but the watch sits really comfortably on my wrist. But even though it's comfortable during the day, I was still quite shocked that I was able to sleep with it. There's a bit of a gotcha which I'll cover in a minute, but it's been superb in tracking my sleep, and here's the kicker. In the last 5 weeks, I've actually been getting more quality sleep, and that alone for me made it worthwhile. And I think that better quality sleep is a direct result of one of the apps that I'm using, well, a particular feature within that app. And I'll cover that in a little bit more detail when I cover all the apps that I'm using. By the way, YouTube can be quite tricky for a small channel like this, so if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up will go a long way. It really helps YouTube recommend this channel to other people, and if you like my stuff, a sub to the channel will be amazing. I really appreciate that. The benefit to you is that I'll be here at least once a week with a new down-to-earth tech video for you. I have loads of new content on the channel. I've reviewed the new iPhone 14 Pro Max, the 14 Plus, but I also have non-Apple videos, so if you like your tech gadgets, you're in good company here. In my first video about this watch, I did a call test with my friend, which proved that it's actually fine. But I thought I'd try the call quality again from a controlled environment. I've turned off my Wi-Fi here.
Hello mate, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. You're on YouTube, so say hi to my audience.
Hello, people.
Let's make sure he gets 200 views this time.
I'm in for 350.
So Liverpool playing tomorrow, Man City. Who do you think's going to win?
I think it's going to be a draw. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we've been all over the place. Anyway, just a quick test on the direction of the microphone. If I speak the other way, I guess is the same, but from a different direction.
Yeah,
Speaking to a plant right now.
although it becomes more muffled.
I'm amazed at the speakers as well, the way you sound on this end. This is the max volume, by the way.
And it just sounds very clear. It doesn't sound at all they speak from the watch.
Cool, man. Thanks very much. Bye.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Speak to you later.
All right. Cheers, fella. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
So that was an 8-minute conversation with him, not a single hiccup whatsoever. I'm really glad I tested that and he was surprised at how good it sounded. Just be aware though of the way you speak to the watch. You really have to raise it to your mouth, because even if it's slightly off center, the person on the other side will notice. The watch does have a 3 microphone array altogether, and it kind of is meant to pick up the best sounding microphone depending on the wind conditions. But in my experience, you do have to speak directly at it for better results. Okay, so call quality is good, but how about using Siri when you're out and about? Now, this is when a review after a month becomes more useful, because it's only by using daily that we find problems with something, right? And this may not be an issue for you, but for me, it's pretty annoying. And honestly, I'm not sure Apple can improve on this. One of the benefits of having a cellular option is that you can leave your phone behind, right? In my case, I like to leave my phone in the gym locker, and they have a trail run, so I tend to go for a run outside and then only use my phone at the end. Now, if I want to ask Siri to skip a track on my music or turn the volume up or down, and there's a bit of wind, it's virtually impossible in my experience. 9 times out of 10, if it's windy outside, I have to stop my run, almost shout to get Siri to work. And I know there are a couple of variables here, right? There's the microphones on the Airpods Pro 2, which were supposed to be amazing too, and take into account external noise and all of that. The best way I found so far was to elevate the watch to your mouth and activate Siri that way, or even holding the button. It's a bit annoying as it kind of breaks the rhythm of your exercise. Running is not much of an issue, if I'm honest with you. But if you're cycling or trying to use Siri for directions, for example, it could be a problem, right? Or even dangerous. This is my personal experience, and I honestly was expecting a little bit better from that combination of AirPods Pro 2 and the Watch Ultra, but let me know if you found something similar with your experience. Now, one of the things that I hated about my previous watch, it was the Series 5, is how sensitive this screen was to accidental touches. You know, crossing the arms like this was a recipe for disaster for me. My Series 5 would just randomly open apps, you know, change the watch face. And a funny story actually, you know, I have this weather app called Carrot Weather. I was at a very serious work meeting once and I crossed my arms.
It's partly cloudy. By the devil's tumor-laden nutsack. It's partly
And you
cloudy.
can imagine how horrifying that was when he started to kind of swear. And well, I'm pleased to say that that doesn't happen on the Watch Ultra. The accidental touches issue is just completely gone. I haven't submerged this in any way, but I'm pretty sure that'll be fine as well. For me, I'm more concerned about swimming pools and chlorine, right? That may impact the Alpine loop and maybe the painted areas like the crown and the action button. Other than that, I'm not really worried about putting this in water. I've been super careful with it, but I've been brave enough to use it without a screen protector as well. I did buy some protectors actually, but my viewers convinced me that it was a bad idea and the Sapphire Crystal would be good enough. I've ordered a few new straps. I've been using some different ones as well, but I'll be reviewing them in a separate video. Now, for some of my favorite apps for this watch, and remember, I'm just an average dad, so there's nothing advanced here, right? And some of these apps actually are not exclusive to the Apple Watch Ultra, but the experience on it has been much better because of that larger display. Using Spotify, for example, is great on this watch. But for the first couple of weeks, it was a bit of a terrible experience, if I'm honest, because it kept pausing the songs for no reason. It was pretty unusable. But updating to WatchOS 9.02 fixed that problem. Now it works great, and as I said, because of this display, everything is that much easier to access and do. All of this was doable on my Series 5, but I always found myself not being able to exactly tap the right thing that I wanted that easily. Sometimes you don't want to interact with Siri, like in public spaces, for example. So being able to control it via touch so easily is great for me. In some cases, I can quickly respond to emails and messages, just by choosing some of the predefined answers, which makes it super convenient as well when you don't want to carry your phone with you. I love how the action button makes it quicker to start a workout, and it's a bit easier as well to pause a workout. Previously you have to press these two buttons on the side. Now you can just press the action and the side button together, which is a bit easier. One of the things I wish it would do is synchronize with Android devices, even if it was for limited functionality, but I appreciate that this would potentially reduce iPhone sales, so yeah, that's never gonna happen, right? Now, my favorite thing about the watch so far, and the reason that this has been for me worth every penny, is how much it helped me track my sleep. I work really late sometimes, and most days actually I don't get any more than 5 hours sleep. Now, there's a lot of science in sleep, right? And I appreciate that this will be different for everyone. And I need to keep tracking this and see how it changes over time. But just a very small change in how I wake up in the last few weeks meant that I feel more alert during the day. I don't feel so tired, even when I only get like 5 or 6 hours sleep. So I use this app called Sleep Cycle. I've been using it for many years. It's quite an in-depth app. You can really go into the analytics of it. It records your snoring, sleep talking. You can tell it, what you've done the day before, so you can kind of analyze what you're doing wrong and to try and correct it. It can do a lot. But the main feature for me is the alarm. It sounds very simple and basic, but for someone like me who finds it very difficult to go to bed every day at the same time, I'll give you an example. Having a set alarm for say 6 a.m. every day can be really bad for some people if that 6 a.m. happens to be when you're in a deep sleep. What this app does is it works out that it might be better to wake up a little bit earlier, say at 5:45 a.m. because you will be in a different cycle of your sleep. You won't be in a deep sleep. And it sounds counterintuitive because you're getting less amount of sleep, but you're not disrupting your sleep during the wrong cycle. It's only been over a month and there's a lot more that I can go into, like body temperature and stuff. I tested a lot of features and the call quality in this video over here, and YouTube thinks you might also like this video over here. See you soon.
I tried peeking through the cracks.